Okay, I'm going to show you how to make some really easy fish fingers stroke goujons, which will link really nicely to the story that Hannah's read for you. So I've got some fish here. I've actually had this in the freezer, but you can obviously get it fresh from the fish. This is some cod, but I recommend any white fish, or even you could do it with salmon. So we're going to cut this into fingers. So forget the traditional really square processed oblong fish fingers. However, it's not a bad shape, is it, for the children to associate it. Right, so they're going to be ready to dip into my egg and breadcrumbs. I'll just do this one as well. We've got a really good fishmonger in Louth, so Peter's Fish, and he supplies all the fish for the nursery. It's really good quality and really fresh. Right, so we need to have a beaten egg. I'll just wash my hands before I do that. It's really important if you're cooking with the children, just keep getting them to wash their hands, obviously very well as well to start with. Right, so with the fish then, we dip them into beaten egg. These are eggs from our bantams. Well, these are eggs from all our chickens, look. Size difference. But these are from the bantams. Gorgeous little eggs, but I normally use 2 for 1 because they're so small. I like to add a bit of seasoning to this. Not too much salt if we're cooking with the children. But pepper. If you like it to have a bit of a kick, you can put some paprika in. Actually, I'll save that for the breadcrumbs. So these just want beating. So the children can help you crack the eggs. They're normally very good at that. And hey ho, it takes a bit of practice. But don't get too worried if they do get a bit of shelling. You can hood that out as well. And obviously they can beat these. Might be a bit easier for them to have a deeper bowl if the children are doing it. Okay, so that's my egg prepped. And now we need some breadcrumbs. So I just happen to have some sliced bread at the moment. This is granary bread, but you can use pretty much any bread that you'd like. I love my Magimix, I use it all the time. If you don't have one, you can rub the bread amongst a grater, or just basically just separate it like that. So we'll give it a zizz. That helps if it's plugged in. That whole process of what's happening to things, cause and effect. It's all learning for children in many aspects, and you get an end product. So it's a win-win situation, I feel. So there's the breadcrumbs. If you like it to have a bit of a kick, you can put some smoked paprika in, as I'm doing in this case. I seem to have got rather a lot of breadcrumbs there. You probably don't need as many, but don't be afraid of a bit of trial and error. I think I'm just going to take a few out of there, so I haven't got too much going in when I get the egg in. Okay, bit of a production line now. So again, the children can get involved in this. They really like to get their hands messy. Most children, I find, anyhow. So just dip them in the egg, roll them in the breadcrumbs, and there you have a fish goujon ready for cooking. I'll just do a few here so you get the idea. I made these for my grandchildren a while ago, and they went down like a house on fire, so they would probably eat 4 or 5 of those. But if you know your own children's appetites, and maybe just one of these is enough for a young child. Right, so wash hands and then we're going to fry these off. I have a very effective camera person who follows me around the kitchen. This is all new to me. But why not, eh? So it's best really if you've got a frying pan that you can put into the oven, and then they can finish off in the oven and less mess on the hob. So I just need to get that up to temperature. So I'd normally serve these with, if you want to do the fish and chips thing, you could probably cut some potatoes into wedges and just mix them with a bit of olive oil and put them in the oven. They will take a lot longer than the fish goujons, so that would be the first thing that you do. Otherwise, I've got some new potatoes that are cooked at the moment in the fridge, and I'd probably just slice those and fry them off in the frying pan, and you can have the sautéed potatoes with them. I'd like that to be a bit more sizzling, but we'll go with it. There we go, sizzle sizzle. 4 fat goujons sitting in the pan. They're not going to go pop or bang. Yes, it's great. You can bring in lots of song and dance when you're cooking. Why not? Make it a bit of fun. So again, depending on what sort of hob you've got, I'm always a bit wary with children and gas, obviously. This is quite efficient, and you can see the flames are spurting up there. If you've got an induction hob, it's a bit safer for the children. So an older child could probably stand safely on a step as long as you're there. Never leave them alone with anything hot, and just explain to them the dangers of it. But the more they can get involved, you know, 4 and 5-year-old, the better it is really. So we'll just let these seal on the bottom and then flip them over, and then they can be finished off in the oven. And they'll only take about 5 minutes, if that really. So it's a nice quick one. You can also serve it with some tartar sauce, which you can mix some mayonnaise with a bit of creme fraiche if you like. And I normally put chopped gherkin and a very finely chopped shallot into that, and some black pepper, or a bit of tomato sauce. Children love tomato sauce, obviously. And you can make your own if you're feeling like that, but there's all sorts of things. And also you could serve it with some peas, for example, or some broccoli, and then you get your different colours on the plate, which is always a good indication that your children are getting lots of nutrients in their food. Right, let's give it a go and flip them over. There we go, and at that stage I'm just going to put that in the oven and let that do the rest for me. So that's a preheated oven, it's quite hot. I've got that on, put it on 180, and then 5 minutes, bingo, good to serve. Okay, and here you are. I've plated up 2 platefuls, so depending on your child's appetite, you will know if they are hungry eaters, and they can cope with more on the plate. That's absolutely fine. This is a side plate, so I'd suggest that's okay for what, for 4 or 5-year-olds, or even a 3-year-old with a healthy appetite. Somebody that's a little bit picky with their food, don't put too much on the plate. So 1 goujon is perfectly adequate, and as you can see I've got different colours on the plate, so there's tomatoes and peas and potatoes, and obviously your fish. So a lovely healthy meal, quick to do. If you want to funk it up a bit, serve it with a slice of lemon. It's always best to have a sharp knife, and especially the older children that can squeeze their slice of lemon on the top. So there you go.